Dramatic. Look at that, the big male's just leapt onto it, throwing his weight into it. Now what they'll try to do on a big buffalo like this is once it's weak enough, one of the lions will try to get onto its nose, and what they'll do is they'll sink their canines through its nose, and what that actually happens is the buffalo starts bleeding and inhaling its blood, and they actually often drown buffalo like this. This is incredible. Now half the battle, let's just go a little bit wider there. Half the battle is already won. Now it is the lions are going to basically wear down this buffalo. It is a very disturbing sound. There we go. Once it's down on the ground, the buffalo will fight to the very end. Here comes the big male again. See, look at his claws. He's going around the head. He's trying to get that nose hold. Look, they're going for that nose hold. The buffalo's still standing up. Now, this is also incredibly dangerous for the lions. See, one of the lionesses has got onto the nose. The big male's going for the throat hold. Well, see, the lioness has already been thrown off. Now, only a big male lion will be able to suffocate a buffalo by the throat hold. The other lions, the females and the young males, their jaws are not big enough. But you can see that buffalo is still fighting. There's still a chance he might escape. Now, as I said, this is not for sensitive viewers. This can take a very long time for a lion pride to bring down a buffalo. But you can see how hungry they are. Okay, they're going to disappear behind the tree. I'm just going to move forward. Just stay on them. Okay, there we go. And how amazing was that? It's not often you see lions hunt and charge for that long. Erica says this is spectacular. Indeed it is, Erica. Now we've also got to be careful about where we position ourselves, because if that buffalo does get loose, he's just going to charge off in a direction. I think with the big male on the face now, it's unlikely that this buffalo is going to escape. And you can see that buffalo has been wallowing in the mud, which has made it a little bit more difficult for the lions to grip. It's been a bit slippery. Tanya is wondering, will they start eating it alive? Yes, they will, Tanya. Unfortunately, for lions, it is meat, whether it's alive or dead. There we go. You can hear that, and that's the blood that the buffalo is now starting to inhale. And as I said, this can take up to an hour, 2 hours even, for a big buffalo bull like this to actually die once the lions have got it into this position. But normally, once they manage to get him off his feet onto the ground, that whole process happens a lot quicker. Oh, there we go. He got away for a second from that male lion. Now, as I said, this is also very dangerous for the lions. If that male lets go and that buffalo manages to get a horn into him, they can throw lions 5-6 meters in the air. Oh, he's still fighting. These buffalo are incredibly powerful animals. This bull probably weighs about 800 kilograms, so over 1,600 pounds. Matt, a very good question. Did the other buffalo run off, or is he nearby? He did run off, but he could be nearby, and sometimes buffalo will come back to aid each other. But with the two old bulls like this, it is unlikely. Oh, look at, he's still fighting. He's trying to throw that male off his head. Now, First Lady Shah is wondering why they're biting into the buffalo's back. They're actually trying to get down towards its spine, and also wherever they can bite and open up a wound, it's going to increase blood loss. Oh, the male, let's go. Let's just stay a bit wide. The male nearly lost his grip there. I'm just going to move again. Just stay on them while I move. The male nearly got thrown there by the buffalo. Julie is spot on. Sad for the buffalo, but a great meal for the lions. Indeed, Julie. There we go. You can see the male's got a better grip now on the nose, and you can hear that breathing. And that's as those incisors have sunk through into the nose. The buffalo will actually, as I said, start drowning on its own blood, which is a very difficult way to go. One remember, this animal's probably in so much shock at the moment. So I'm just going to keep quiet so you can hear some of the sounds that are happening around here at the moment. And as I say, this is not for sensitive ears. This is quite difficult. Now, as I say, you can see that buffalo is caked in mud. As they manage to get that buffalo off its feet, it should speed up the process. But as I said, this can go on for a very long time. There we go. They're getting him down. So that's a combination of loss of blood and also the blood going into its lungs and just fatigue setting in. Now, as I said, the buffalo will probably try stand up again. We're just going to wait in this position for a few more moments before I move around. See, once it's down, the rest of the lions have a much easier place where they can start opening up wounds, and then with that blood loss, the buffalo becomes much weaker and therefore easier to kill. See, there we go. Even the male, he's managed to wrestle its head backwards now into the ground where it's not nearly as much of a threat. Lisa is wondering, are the female lions stronger than the male lions in the strength of their bite? No, they're not, Lisa. A male lion is infinitely stronger than a female. Okay, I'm just going to try and find us a spot where we can see. Now, I'm just going to warn everyone quickly now. So this buffalo is still alive, and what often happens in these circumstances, these lions are now going to go for its genitals and its stomach, and they're going to open it up while it's still alive. So if you are a bit sensitive, please just be warned that is what is going to happen as we move around to get a better view. So please remember, this is nature playing its course. This has happened for millennia out here on the African savannas, and we're just very, very lucky to be able to sit here and watch it. I know it's difficult, but it does mean success and survival for the lion pride. This buffalo bull's past his prime. He's no longer with the herd. He's no longer mating. So in that sort of sense, it's this is what happens with buffalo of this age. They do normally get taken by lions or hyenas. Okay, so you have been warned. I'm going to move around now. Please keep sending your questions through. We still got to be careful we don't fall into a hole here. Or get stuck in the mud. Wouldn't be nice to be stuck in the mud right next to the lions. Bongo is wondering, where's the other buffalo now? Has it given up? It kept running. It managed to get away, and it's kept running. I can't see where it's gone, but it ran in a northerly direction. Okay, so the grass is quite long, so it might spare us. Ooh, some red-winged francolins taking off. Robert says, don't lions normally go for the weakest animal? Why did they go for this big, strong buffalo? Well, there's not a lot of other animals around at this time of the year in this area, and it's a huge meal that this pride will be able to eat for 2 or 3 days. Okay, so fortunately I think the grass is hiding some of the more gruesome bits, but there we go. You can see the lioness in the middle. She is busy opening up the stomach, and the young male at the back is busy eating the genitals. Now that is very normal, and the big male on the nose is still holding on, which means the buffalo is still alive. So fortunately it's not making too much noise. As I say, sometimes these things can go on for hours, and it is quite disturbing to be there when there's a constant sort of lowing from the buffalo. But having a big male lion around has definitely aided this pride in being able to bring down this massive animal. The females would have succeeded. It would have taken a lot longer though, because they're not as strong. And that male at first tried a throat suffocation hold, but the buffalo's throat was obviously too big and too thick, so it managed to somehow maneuver and swap to a nose suffocation hold. And those are the two sort of best ways for lions to take down big buffalo like this. Susan says the stamina of the lions is amazing. It is indeed. But you've got to have a lot of respect for the stamina of that buffalo. He fought for so long and to be able to survive. And there we go. As I said, the young male's gone through the genitalia and is now into the intestines. The big male's let go, so the buffalo is dead. So once that buffalo stops breathing, whichever lion happens to be in that position will normally let go. And so one of the other reasons why he would have tried to get the head back down like he did is it would obviously speed up the process of that buffalo drowning on its own blood and then suffocating. Wowee, that was exciting. Heartbreaking at the same time. Gremlins General says this is the first time I've seen a male lion. Oh, look at that, having a chat with his son, helping in a hunt. They do, particularly when it comes to hunting big things like buffalo. Male lions are very, very prominent in the Mara when it comes to hunting big animals. During the migration, they do a lot of their own hunting. And so he's quite tired now, so he'll probably rest a bit before he starts feeding. Now, what could be quite entertaining in this area, but not quite yet, a bit later, because those buffaloes' distress calls would have carried far and wide, and there are a substantial amount of hyenas in this area, so it'll be interesting to see how long it takes for the hyenas to arrive. Now, wasn't that absolutely insane? And as I say, heartbreaking, but incredible that these lions have managed to catch their dinner. And as I say, it's a tough time of the year for lions here in Kenya, in this part of the world. So very, very exciting that they managed to catch such a lovely big meal for themselves. A bit sad for the buffalo. But we're going to say goodbye now. But if the hyenas come in, remember to keep a look for that Go Live notifications, because you never know what's going to happen next on Safari Live. So let's give you one last look at a very happy Lion Pride before we say goodbye.